No, you can't have my weeds. You can't have my weeds. You can't have my plantain. You can't have it. It's mine. It's for It's for sobs. You can't have it. I'm being attacked by goats. They want my plantain, Toby. No, you can't have it. You've got plenty of it out here. No. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're gonna make a respiratory herbal salve. Right now I'm walking into my herbal cabinet underneath the stairs, and I'm just gonna pick out the herbs that have the healing qualities for the respiratory system that I've wildcrafted on our farm. And there's a lemon balm that actually I grow in our garden, and I'm just showing you around several the different herbs that I've wild foraged. But please subscribe if this kind of stuff interests you, and here we go. So the first herb that I'm going to put is spearmint and wild mullein leaf and white pine needle, and all this stuff I've wild foraged for on our farm. If you're interested in wild foraging, please subscribe. I talk about it often. Sweet goldenrod, and you'll get it a ball jar, quart preferably. And what you're going to do is you're going to measure out. I'm making a triple batch. This is for a triple batch of respiratory herbal salve. Measure out 1/4 cup, about 1/4 cup of each herb that you're going to choose to put into your respiratory herbal salve. You can do the research and decide which herbs that you want to choose. It doesn't have to be exactly the ones that I choose, but these are the herbs that I put into our respiratory herbal salves at Winnie Bluff Farm. And this is how I make the salves that we have for sale on our website, in case you're interested. And you can check out all those links underneath this video. I'll have links to all the herbs in case you want to buy them instead of wild forage for them, and all the links for everything that I'm using in this video. Thank you for purchasing through them. They help our farm out and help this YouTube channel out a little bit. So thank you for purchasing from those. So here again, I'm just adding about 1/4. That's sweet goldenrod flower that was wild foraged on our farm as well. Really great for allergies and this time of year and colds and flu. And if you're interested too, I have a blog post on how to do this if you're more of the kind of person that likes to read things, a step-by-step guide on how to make the respiratory herbal salve. You can check that out. I'll leave a link below this video as well in case you're interested. So we're just measuring out again. This is the pine needle. This is a white pine needle. It's wild foraged as well. White pine needle has been used for a very long time to support the respiratory system, coughs, a very tight chest, bronchitis, pneumonia, stuff like that. It's been used a lot by Native Americans. I'm actually Native American myself, so we use that a lot in our herbal remedies. And you put it all in a ball jar, about a quart ball jar, and there goes the marshmallow root. Also another herb that's really great for supporting the respiratory system. And I'm not going to go in detail in this video all the benefits of each and every single herb that I'm putting into this respiratory herbal salve. Today is just going to be how to make one, in case you've been wondering how to make one yourself and add to your home setting toolbox. Licorice root, another great one. So for a triple batch, I'm measuring out about a cup and a half of virgin olive oil, and I'm just pouring it over all of my herbs into my ball jar. And then what I'm going to do after I get all of that olive oil out is I'm going to make sure that it's really well incorporated into my herbs and make sure the herbs are totally immersed into the olive oil. And then I'm going to make an infused oil. I'm going to use the quick method or double boil method. I'm just making sure my herbs right now are mixed well into the oil. And there's actually two ways that you can infuse an herbal oil. You can either do a solar infusion, which is what I usually do to make our herbal salves, before this video's purpose, and in case you're impatient or you have to make something in a pinch for an emergency, doing a double boiler method is the best. And just putting some type of neoprene mat, I'm using my canning mat on the bottom of a stainless steel pan, putting my ball jar on top of that with my oil with my herbs in it, and literally just pouring water into the stainless steel bowl. Make sure you put the lid on very lightly. And I'm all for making things and being sustainable out of things that you already have in your home. So just use whatever you have, as long as it's a stainless steel pan and some type of neoprene mat. I'm pouring water up all the way until the level of the herbs. So it's kind of just over the herbs a little bit. So it's going to slowly heat up the oil and herb mixture so to extract all the goodness out of the herbs. And you want to let it go for 5 to 24 hours. The next step is to strain and filter your oil and herb mixture through a cheesecloth and a very fine mesh sieve into another quart ball jar or a Pyrex measuring cup. Make sure you get all the goodness out, and be very careful because it's still going to be really warm, and you're going to want to squeeze out all of that oil out of your herbs. Make sure you get every last drop. It's all great stuff, but just be careful because it's still going to be really warm. You might have to wait just like a minute or two to let it cool down a bit so you don't burn your hands, or if you have to, use gloves. And then once you get that all filtered out, it's all nice and clean with no particles in it, which is important because you don't want your salve to go rancid. You want it to stay on the shelf. Here you can see I'm pouring it into another ball jar, which is my designated ball jar for making salves because I use beeswax in all of our salves, which is the traditional way to make a salve. And then I'm going to add shea butter. I use raw unrefined shea butter, about 2 heaping tablespoons for this triple batch of Respiratory Herbal Salve, straight to my infused herbal oil. And the benefits of raw shea butter is that it is nourishing to the skin. It contains all the nutrients and minerals in it. And it also acts as a protective skin barrier because it's a moisturizer. So we definitely want to add that into our herbal salves to support and help the healing process, which we're making a respiratory herbal salve. So it's going to be for most likely applying to your chest. Now I'm adding my local beeswax that I get, about 5 heaping tablespoons for this triple batch of the Respiratory Herbal Salve, or salve as you would say, right into my ball jar. And the beeswax is actually going to take longer to melt than the shea butter. And I'm just going to put this in my ball jar and put it again back onto the stove in my double boiler. And I'm adjusting the water height again to make sure the water comes up to the line on the jar that has the oil and the shea butter and the beeswax in it. And I'm just going to bring it up to a very light simmer again. You don't want it to boil. You just want it to barely have bubbles in the water to slowly heat it up. You're going to want to totally melt the beeswax and the shea butter. And the beeswax is going to take much longer than the shea butter. You want to make sure you really incorporate it well with your skewer. And then once that's done, or as it's going, prepare your tins to pour your salves in. This batch, I think I used, it will make you 6 2-ounce metal tins, or in this case I used 3 2-ounce tins, and I ended up having to use 2 6-ounce tins, which I didn't show here, but I ended up having more, so I had to get another one. And this is the point where I'm going to add my essential oils. You don't have to do this step, it's totally optional. I use CPTG therapeutic grade essential oils, which I talk about them a lot on this channel. If you're interested in learning about that, please subscribe. If you have questions, just message me or comment in the comment section. I'm adding 30 drops each of Siberian fir essential oil and a blend called Breathe. And I just feel like they really enhance the healing qualities for the respiratory system in this salve. And I'm adding them after the mixture has cooled a bit because I don't want the healing qualities of the essential oils to dissipate or get altered. And I'm going to mix it up really well and incorporate it into my oil to make sure it's mixed in. And then finally, after I have it all mixed in, I'm going to pour into my tins. And you pour so it's not so high, so you can shut the lid afterwards. You know, just underneath the rim or the part that screws on, you can see there's a line on the tins. Be careful that you don't get it anywhere else except into the tins because there's beeswax in your mixture. So tip is to make sure you designate a special quart ball jar for your salves or anything that you make with beeswax, because it's really hard to get beeswax out and you don't want that stuff to go down your drain. It will tear up your drain. And another tip is at the very end, after I pour here and the mixture starts to cool down, you'll see here that I actually put some of the hot water from the double boiler into my ball jar and shake it around to kind of get the rest of or remnants of the beeswax out and just pour it outside. And you can see I have it labeled because it's my designated salve quart ball jar just for this purpose. And there you go. There's the finished product. Let it cool down. It will start to solidify and get a little hard, and then you can put your tops on, screw them on, and make some crafty labels. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you got any use. Like, share. Till next time, y'all. Be blessed, and check out our website if you're interested in our respiratory herbal salve at Winnie Bluff Farm /square.site. Thank you.